of Commissioners to order. And I'll ask Mr. Clerk to please call the roll.
Good morning. On the attendance roll call, Commissioners Bujek, Morales, Pakla, Minority Vice Chair Faber, Commissioners Womack, LeGrand, Oliver King, Hennessy, McLeod, Sparks, Vice Chair Teal, Commissioner Halstead, Commissioner Kallman, Burl,
Here.
Ponstein, Steck, Hildenbrand, DeBoer, Merchant, Morse, and Chair Green.
Here.
Mr. Green, Mr. Chair, you have 15 present and 6 absent.
Mr. Clerk, did you get Commissioner Oliver King? I don't think she said her name when it was called.
Also here. Yeah. All right, 16 present.
And now Commissioner Sparks is here, so I hope you brought your white out today.
17.
All right. So we have a quorum. Thank you. I have the pleasure of giving the invocation today, so we'll begin with that. Let us pray. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. We gather this morning as St. Patrick's Day approaches, and so it seems fitting that we should turn to Patrick himself. He brought the faith to Ireland not by force, but by presence, by showing up day after day in the face of opposition and holding his ground. When the road ahead was uncertain, he prayed these words, and we'll pray them today. Christ with me, Christ before me, Christ behind me, Christ in me, Christ beneath me, Christ above me, Christ on my right, Christ on my left, Christ when I lie down, Christ when I sit down, Christ when I arise, Christ in the heart of every man who thinks of me, Christ in the mouth of everyone who speaks of me, Christ in every eye that sees me, Christ in every ear that hears me. Lord, you set Patrick to the task of governing souls in a land not his own, and he did not flinch from it. Grant us something of that same steadfastness this morning, to do the work before us with clear eyes, honest hearts, and fidelity to those we serve. St. Patrick, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. We'll move to agenda item number 5, which is our special order of business. And we have the Office of the Defender Annual Report. I'd like to welcome Julia Kelly, Public Defender, to give the report this morning. Morning, Julia.
Good morning. Okay. Administrator Vanderberg, Chair Green, Mr. Clerk, Board of Commissions, thank you for inviting me here to do the Public Defender Performance Measurement Review this morning. Our mission, as many of you know, is to provide zealous representation to all adult indigent clients. We work on a holistic client representation mission. Our core values are integrity, respect, accountability, and collaboration. And so what do we do? Your civics lesson for this morning, all of the different constitutional rights that we are protecting every day as public defenders. We're talking about the 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, and 14th Amendments that we are protecting our clients every day. We are providing that zealous representation. We are ensuring prompt and a fair trial. We are arguing against excessive bail and for fair sentences when necessary. We are making sure that we are arguing against illegal police practices. We are connecting our clients to resources. We are participating in community outreach efforts, and we are adhering to the strictest ethical standards. I have listed our department's strategic goals for you to review. Our top two that we are focusing on right now is number 3 and 5. We're fostering leadership and educational opportunities to our staff, mentorship, and a team-focused approach in order to build a culture of excellence among this Defender office. We're also exceeding in compliance with our MIDC standards to ensure the financial health of our department. As many of you know, the enabling statute is the MIDC Act 780.989. Any expenditure that we make is highly regulated and must be related to the defense of our clients. And so where we sit in our budget for fiscal year 26, from the state, we're just sitting over 15 million. Our local share is just about 2.5 million for a total of 17.6 million. I've listed some of the other neighboring counties or cities for review and for comparison. That local share is by statute. That's why those numbers are different for the different organizations or different local counties. That's looking at the 3 years prior to the act being enabled in 2013 and what the county was spending. So that's where that number comes from. For comparison purposes, Wayne sits at the highest at about 34.5 million. Oakland sits at 19 million as the budget. They are trying to build capacity at this moment. Washtenaw is right behind us at about 14 million. And so by the numbers, what do we look like as a department as a whole? So next door at 250, where our office is located, we have approximately 70 employees. That's 41 attorneys, 17 in our administration staff. That includes investigators, mitigation specialists, and our indigent analysts. And we also have 8 video arraignment attorneys, which I'll get to, and then our roster system, which some people forget about. We have about 50 attorneys that serve on our roster system. So those are folks that are getting conflict cases. They're also getting appointments as we work through those standards and case workloads. So our key performance metrics, communication is key, and what we work on is we have quarterly reports to our staff and to our roster system. We have weekly management meetings. Our trial division is split into teams. They have weekly meetings. We have monthly meetings with our trial division staff, our senior legal assistants. We have meetings with the court administrators. We have conferences with the federal public defenders, and we've had 2 open houses to invite stakeholders to come see where we work on a daily basis. I'm going to run through these standards from the MIDC and talk more about those performance metrics. So standard 1 is our continuing legal education, which is required by the state. That's 12 hours. Kent County is the only one that requires specific CLEs in forensics, technology, and ethics. And so how are we meeting those goals? On the white side of the screen, you will see the current training schedule in our office that the MIDC has already approved for our attorneys to receive those CLEs. All they have to do is walk down the hallway into our large conference room. They're going to get those CLEs. As many of you know, in 2024, we onboarded nearly 70 employees. We had 25 in-house trainings. In addition to law and technology, we also had the county come over and talk about things such as retirement or the EAP program. We did the Colby assessment as a team. We send out monthly legal updates to our staff and to our roster. That's 14 in total that we've sent out. We have attorney roundtables every Friday in our office. We have attorneys from our office being sought out to present at the MIDC, to present at CDAM, to present at national conferences. So we are getting those CLEs done, no problem. Our standard 2, we have to meet with our clients and provide them information within 72 hours. We send them information in the mail. We also are doing video visits and in-person visits with our clients that are in custody. I want to take a moment to thank the sheriff for all of their work. They are doing incredible work and able to make sure that we are able to see our clients within that time period. Standard 3, are using investigators, experts, and mitigation specialists. I want to say the next few slides that are coming up, I want to give everyone the caveat because we had numbers from that assessment in 2022 and what that looked like. Obviously, our department is much bigger, but the word is getting out that we are approving these requests and approving requests for investigators and specialists. So With that, the investigator request. You will see in the gold color the numbers from 2022. That's from the National Association Public Defense assessment that was done. In the burgundy color, you will see where we are at in 2025. So in the gold number, there were 169 requests for investigators in 2022. We're sitting right now at 358 in 2025. So about doubling that number. We've also accepted 6 of the Taylor resentencing hearings. Those are a huge lift. They're going to be a huge lift. We feel very confident that we're going to be able to handle each and every one of those cases. Expert requests. This is also from that NAPD assessment done. In about 6 quarters, 2022 to 2023, there were 34 requests for experts. Most of those were for the juvenile resentencing hearings. You see the numbers now, they're staggering. 240 that we have approved experts for, 229,000, and those experts are anything from polygraphs to forensic examinations, data review, and also conflict cases if we need mitigation specialists or investigators if there's a conflict within our department. Our mitigation specialists, Chelsea Hawkins puts this together, a quarterly report. If you want the full report, I'm happy to provide that to you. But the mitigation specialists also are doubling in their numbers. In 2022, they were working with 37 attorneys, 250 clients, and they wrote 75 reports that went to the court. In this past year, they've worked with 407 clients. They've written 133 reports that have gone to the judge to consider at sentencing, and they have worked with 82 attorneys. So that's almost every single attorney that we have in our trial division and in our roster system. This is one of them, Jamila Simmons. She came to us from KCOD, and she volunteered for the Cultural Insight Council this year on top of all of her duties, and she is now a certified CQ facilitator, welcoming new employees at the county and teaching them about inclusive practices. She was very excited to go to the NAACP gala with Administrator Vanderberg as well. Standard 4, our counsel at first appearance and critical stages. So, as I said, we have 8 video arraignment attorneys. They conduct these video arraignments from anywhere. They are all via Zoom. Here you see Dick Hillary, a longtime director of KCOD. Between the 8 of them, they have over 300 years of criminal defense experience. So these are, our top folks that get it done. And again, thank you to Ethan LePennon from the Sheriff's Department in helping to pave the way to make this process much more smooth. Our volume of cases. So in 2025, from January 1 to 12/31, OPD received 7,787 cases. After conflicts, our trial division took 7,521 of those cases. The rest went to the roster system, taking about 20% of the criminal cases. In district court, our trial division had 29 trials, and in the circuit court, there were 72 criminal trials, which took up about 247 total days. Kudos to the 17th Circuit Court. That's a lot of days in trial. Kudos to the prosecutor's office. Again, that's a lot of days in trial. I calculated out the average for 7,787 cases. If those were felony cases, the average cost is about $30,000. That works out to be $233 million. If it's a misdemeanor case only, 7,787 works out to be about $15.3 million. So that's under our budget, what we get from the state. So we are working hard, we are efficient. A couple of attorneys I wanted you to meet. Jordan Safey here, he's an assistant public defender 2 in our trial division. He's had multiple cases, multiple wins. You'll see him flanked by 2 flags in our office. We try to celebrate everyone's wins. He happened to get an acquittal on a trial, and then the very next day, he had a case dismissed at preliminary hearing. So he got 2 flags. Jordan also embodies our spirit by volunteering in the community at expungement fairs. He does Know Your Rights trainings, and he also mentors our new attorneys. Sharon Spungen is another one. She's an assistant public defender 1. She works out in the district courts. Sharon has had 10 jury trials this past year, which is unheard of, 8 of which have been not guilty. She's successful in her motion practice and also in working with the courts. When I say she volunteers, that's an understatement. She does every expungement fair that's possible. She volunteers in her church. She does Know Your Rights trainings. She volunteers at festivals. Sharon, at her craze training, it was discovered that she is a 5th degree black belt in Taekwondo. So she's also been tapped to teach self-defense classes for the county in May and September. Please sign up. She's wonderful. These are two of our roster attorneys, a very dynamic duo, father and daughter, the Nuncios. The Nuncios never say no. They always stand up. They are always in court. They are very grateful and wanted me to thank all of you for the support that they have in getting those experts and getting those mitigation specialists. The Nuncios were very busy in trial this past year. In 2025, they had 3 homicide trials, all ended in acquittals, which is, again, unheard of. So our roster system is also doing very well. Standard 5, independence from the judiciary, no problems there. We are certainly working with the courts and getting feedback when necessary. Also a note, the Independence Council that was created by this board, to my knowledge, has received 0 complaints. Indigent defense workload. So we have to monitor very closely what our attorneys are getting, 150 felonies and 400 non-traffic misdemeanors. We look at these numbers weekly at our management meetings. We're getting close. You'll see some reds there. We're getting close. So we're carefully monitoring that and using our roster system when necessary. Very important to me, as I told everyone during my interviews, is I want to ensure that our staff is not getting burnt out. So we have some fun days, mental health days, as I call them. Here's a group of us in our criminal therapy classes that were received from our friends in Kentwood. Standard 7 is qualification and review. When you walk into a courtroom and you see 2 defense attorneys at a table, that's because we are getting our attorneys more qualified to take more serious cases. I'm very proud to announce that in 2025, we promoted 6 attorneys within our office because they earned those qualifications. Reviews are happening constantly in our trial division. We have an independent contractor who's conducting those Standard 7 reviews for our roster attorneys at the moment. Attorney compensation, no issues there. We are above the minimum standards, both for our trial attorneys and for our roster attorneys. And a look ahead. So it is budgeting season. Our budget is due on the 27th of this month. We expect to be asking for additional staff based on the numbers. We are working with other community partners to get that critical information so we can submit that to MIDC. We are improving our case management system to make finding those statistics easier to present to you and what we're doing. We want to improve our website for client communication. As you all know, we have been doing appearances in order to improve that communication. I want to take it a step further so clients know who they're looking for when they're in court. Areas for growth. Juvenile representation is coming at some point in the next few years. I want to get ahead of that curve. I've been working with other community partners in order to see how we can get ahead of that curve and really lead the state in juvenile representation when it does come. Padilla project, there is a state Supreme Court, Kentucky versus Padilla, and that makes it certain that as criminal defense attorney, we have to advise folks on their immigration status based on a collateral consequence of a conviction. We have provided experts to attorneys as they need, immigration specialists. I'm interested in bringing that in-house, having someone on call all the time as we need them in order to provide that support because it is so important. We would be the leader in the state in that. No one else in the state of Michigan has that. It's been 15 months, so I'm at, 15 minutes right now. So 15 minutes to talk about 15 months. It's been a wonderful ride. The top photo is us at the IT department. Yes, those are the red staplers I bought for my first 3 hires. And the bottom picture is us at our last open house. So I wanted to thank you on behalf of all of my department, all of the roster attorneys, all of our video arraignment attorneys, to thank you for your continued support.
All right, thank you, Julia. We appreciate it. I feel like we need a better title for you, Defender Kelly, something like that. So, thank you. Any questions, comments from the board? Yeah, Commissioner LeGrand.
Thank you, Chair. Great presentation. Appreciate all the information and how you're doing on all the standards. And I was sorry I missed the open house because I really wanted to go and bug you in person.
We're there all the time, Commissioner.
Just a couple of questions that came up. And I saw the MIDC money, the grant money, and City of Grand Rapids has their own. So how do you relate to the City of Grand Rapids courts? Do you not take any defendants who are appearing in that court?
The city of Grand Rapids covers all misdemeanors that come into the 61st District Court. If it's a felony that's coming in, we will take them, but they take all of the misdemeanor cases.
Okay, great. And then I just had a question about the video arraignments, and why are those separate attorneys, and is it just a separate step in the trial process, or is it a different sort of case?
So this started prior to our department opening. This is kind of a specialized and unique set of attorneys that can really zoom in from anywhere. And so to have them have that flexibility, we wanted to continue on with that. They really enjoy it. It keeps them in the realm, and it frees up our attorneys from having to kind of navigate and be on those video calls in order to do the arraignments.
Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Sparks.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to say that I'm a big fan of yours. You do great work. Your
Thank you.
staff appreciates you. You take care of your staff. You take care of Kent County, our reputation. Your staff is stellar. You're choosing all the stars. So thank you very much for the passion that you bring to your work and for the staff making sure that everybody is cohesive and on the same page. You took over at a very tough time, and you've really made it, something tremendous that we could be proud of here. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Commissioner Steck.
Thank you, Chair Green. Good morning, Julia.
Good morning.
Thank you for the report. Of course, thank you to you and your entire department for all the work that you do. When we stood this up, my recollection was that we knew that we would be putting most of the work through in-house counsel. We would continue to maintain the roster system, and the roster system would enable us to kind of transition a little bit. But at the same time, we would always be using roster attorneys for either conflicts or specialized expertise and so on. Have we reached sort of the balance that we want at this point? Or are we still in some transition where you'll be looking to move more counsel in-house?
I can't thank the roster enough during that transition. It was a lot, and so they took on a lot of cases, and I think that's probably reflective of the only 20% that they took in 2025. I think we are at a good balance. The roster attorneys are not specifically asking for more cases at this time to me, so I think their work-life balance is very good. I think based on our numbers, we will probably be asking to bring some more folks in and to retain those folks.
So, because I think you had about almost 1,500 referrals to roster counsel, and that seems like that's more than you would have in conflicts and unique expertise, so.
Correct, and that's why at our management meetings, when we're looking at numbers for our in-house trial division, if we're getting too high, we try to, do a 2-to-1 ratio. So that's why we're looking at it on a weekly basis to make sure that no one's going over those caseloads.
In the roster counsel, they still report in some sense back to you, at least from an administrative point of view, not on a case basis, but on an administrative basis.
That's correct. They report back to us. The MIDC is currently starting for Standard 6, which are those attorney workloads, a way to manage both the in-house counsel where we have a case management system, but also the roster attorneys, because you might have a roster attorney that takes cases here in Allegan and Ottawa, and so we really want to make sure that their caseloads are managed as well.
Again, I'm amazed to stand up a 40-attorney firm is what you did in the short period of time. It's miraculous, but thank you for your work.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Womack.
Thank you for being here today, Mrs. Kelly. Had a conversation with some people in the community on social justice, and your name came up. There's a lot of people that didn't know you had moved to this position, so I let them know that, but they were very thankful for your pro bono work in the community and also making your attorney services affordable and feasible for those who couldn't afford it. So there's still people looking for you, and I let them know you were doing this, and they were very proud. So I just wanted to send that thank you from some of the members in the community. My question was, is there any comment cards or reviews that the defendants get to send in to talk about the service they received and if it's satisfactory for them or not? Is there any type of conversation, dialogue that gets recorded on how they feel about the service?
I appreciate that. Right now, there's nothing official for comment cards. We certainly want to hear from our clients because we always want to do better, right? And we hope that we are giving them that service, that it would be a positive feedback. Everything that I've heard has been positive feedback after a case is closed in one way or the other. As cases are going on, if I get a call, we're reaching out. Our management team is talking about, making something more formalized, but there's nothing official in the works.
Okay, well, thank you for your service, and continue to keep up the good work, and look forward to it maybe expanding where we could hear from some of those clients. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Morales.
Thank you, Chair. No question at the moment. Like Melissa, I also want to second my regrets of missing the open house because I did want to go. But it was a very pleasant surprise to just find in community that our Defender Office has a really, really great reputation. So I just want to pass on the kudos and say thank you for your work.
Thank you so much.
I don't have anybody in line. Anybody else? Okay, I don't see any. Thank you, Defender Kelly, and we appreciate your service and your team's service to our constituents. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chair.
All right, we'll move to agenda item number 6, which is public comment related only to agenda action items. We do have cards this morning for public comment. Pursuant to the board rules, the chair has the authority to designate the time limit for public comment. Today, I'm going to make that 2 minutes. That'll apply for both this public comment and the one later for general county matters. So with that, public comment related to agenda action items. Mr. Clerk, who do we have?
I have one card from Shannon Tanis.
Okay. Good morning, Ms. Tanis.
Thank you. My name is Shannon Tanis. I'll be speaking on number 8A for the real property taxes authorization issues of general obligation limited tax notes. I just would like to remind the board of the Michigan Supreme Court of Raphael LLC about foreclosure properties and taxes and keeping the surplus of that, and that it needs to be returned to the owners if you receive above and beyond the market value, and to honor at least doing that. And on that other aspect, the violation of tax notes in general, I don't know if you guys are aware of the fact of how notes are created within the Treasury through the Federal Reserve and the IMF and the standard banking, and how every mechanism that we have that is electronic is creating notes, and they're being backdated within the United States Treasury Department. I went to Washington, D.C. to speak to DOJ oversight and inform them of this. And that's why we're having significant changes in the Federal Reserve, because the people are becoming aware of the fraud scheme that is happening and the money that is being made off of just their very existence, and that you create us in a slavery of taxation. That's why we thank Representative Maddock for presenting bills to move the election for tax millages to the general election, so more than 5% of the population can vote on that, and more people can participate in that, so they can have the ability to voice their no. So, thank you.
Thank you. All right, that's all the cards, Mr. Clerk. Do we have anybody else for public comment related to agenda action items only? Okay, I see none. With that, we'll move to agenda item number 7, which is the consent agenda. I will call on Vice Chair Teal.
Thank you, Chair Green. I move today's consent agenda.
Thank you. Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Burrow. Questions, comments, or discussion on the consent agenda? I see none. This is a roll call vote. Mr. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
On the passage of the consent agenda, Commissioners Bujek, Morales, Pakla,
Yes.
Minority Vice Chair Faber.
Yes.
Commissioners Womack,
Yes.
LeGrand,
Yes.
Oliver King,
Yes.
Hennessy, McLeod,
Yes.
Sparks,
Yes.
Vice Chair Teal,
Yes.
Commissioners Halsted,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Burl,
Yes.
Ponstein, Steck,
Yes.
Hildenbrand,
Yes.
DeBoer,
Yes.
Merchant,
Yes.
Morse,
Yes.
Chair Green.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 18 yeas, 0 nays. The motion is adopted.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, we'll move to agenda item number 8, resolutions. And for 8A, I will call on Commissioner Hildebrand.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I forgot my computer today, so I'm got to borrow some notes here. I move resolution 27 of today's date, the delinquent 2025 real property taxes authorized issuance of general obligation limited tax note series 2026.
Thank you. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Commissioner Womack. Questions, comments, or discussion on this item? I see none. With that, this is a roll call vote. Mr. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
On the adoption of Resolution 27, Commissioners Bujek, Morales, Pakla,
Yes.
Majority Vice Chair Faber, Commissioners Womack,
Yes.
LeGrand, Oliver King, Hennessy, McLeod,
Yes.
Sparks, Vice Chair Teal,
Yes.
Commissioners Halsted, Coleman, Burl,
Yes.
Ponstein, Steck, Hildebrand, DeBoer, Merchant, Morse, and Chair Green.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 18 yeas, 0 nays. The motion is adopted.
Thank you. Move to agenda item 8B, and I will call on Commissioner Oliver King.
Thank you, Chair. I move Resolution 28 of today's date, KCCA fiscal year 26 bill, weatherization grant appropriation be adopted.
Thank you. There's support, supported by Commissioner Pakla. Questions, comments, or discussion on this item? I see none. This is again a roll call vote. Mr. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
On the adoption of Resolution 28, Commissioners Bujek, Morales, Pakla, Minority Vice Chair Faber, Commissioners Womack,
Yes.
LeGrand, Oliver King, Hennessy, McLeod,
Yes.
Sparks, Vice Chair Teal,
Yes.
Commissioners Halsted, Coleman, Burl,
Yes.
Ponstein, Steck, Hildebrand, DeBoer, Merchant, Morse, and Chair Green.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 18 yeas, 0 nays. The motion passes. The resolution is adopted.
Thank you. We will move to item 8C, and I will call on Commissioner DeBoer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move Resolution 29 of today's date, an appointment to Veteran Services Advisory Committee.
Thank you. Is there support? Supported by Commissioner Halsted. Questions, comments, discussion on this item? I see none. This is a voice vote. All those in favor of the resolution being adopted, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. The motion carries. The resolution is adopted. Move to agenda item number 9, which is public comment related to general county matters. Again, we have a limit of up to 2 minutes. We have cards. Mr. Clerk, could you please tell us who's up first?
I have Daniel Scott, and on deck is Maddie Scott.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners, staff, fellow citizens. Yes, my name is Daniel Allen Scott. My real identity is I'm a follower of the Lord Jesus Christ. Thank you for your invocation, Chairman Green. It is all about Christ. I was saddened to hear about the excitement at your home this past weekend. And that's another reason why I pray for you every day, all of you as a group. Speaking of ICE, I hope the county would continue to support ICE because the reports are coming out. Thousands of children are being rescued by ICE that were sex trafficked or sold. So my personal acknowledgement to ICE. Please continue to support it. I want to tell you a story about someone that's here this morning, and he's given me permission to share this. His story begins in Arkansas when his teenage mother conceived him. Friends and family strongly encouraged her to have him murdered through abortion, but she refused. She moved to Chicago to seek help from her family there. Family there also encouraged her to have her child destroyed through abortion. She refused. Finally, an uncle brought her here to Grand Rapids, where she gave birth to Commissioner Robert Womack. And today, he is here continuing to serve our county. It's Women's History Month. I praise the Lord for his mother. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maddie Scott, and on deck is Jacob Trevault.
Hello, it's been a while. I am Matthew Scott, and like we have, because of past threats, we have been given permission to not share our address, but we both live in Grand Rapids. I'm a 30-year resident. I'm about to be 31. Anyway, I am here, like I said, we are citizens, but our real identity is we're followers of Christ as well. Thank you for your prayer. We respect. St. Patrick was a follower of Christ, so we respect him as well. And I'm sorry to hear about the excitement at your house, and I'm not here to, that's why we pray for you, and I'm here to share that me and another brother were at Grand Valley doing our usual outreach, and over almost 2 years, we have never been told we need a permit, but our older gentleman said, do you guys have a permit? Try to scare us and get us to leave, but we are not leaving, and we're gonna go back next week, and thank you, and God bless.
Thank you.
Jacob Trevault, and on deck is John Haynes.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kent County Commissioners. My name is Jacob Freevault. Sorry for the poor handwriting. I am here for one reason and one reason only. That's because I'm a father. And this past week, I've noticed some things that have happened online. I've noticed also a local news channel picked up the story of some vocal individuals of the community approaching one of the members of this commission's home, private residency. And I just want to come out here and talk to the commission and say that I think that you as members of this board or this commission should take a stance against something like this. I believe that as members of this county and our communities within it, we do have the right to protest and have our voices heard, but they should be done at a level like this during these times, and at office hours or meetings by calling you individually. I'm a resident of Wyoming, so I believe Dan Burrow is my commissioner. If I have any issues, I want to go directly to you, and you better hear me out because I do vote. So that's how we can keep everyone on this board accountable, and I suggest that that's the way that we do things moving forward. So I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is John Haynes, and on deck is Gemma Lowe.
Good morning.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm a Kent County resident, and I'm here, frankly, because I'm outraged that our sheriff's department is still cooperating with ICE and detaining our neighbors without judicial warrants. Let's be clear about what that means. People in our community are being taken without due process and sent to the North Lake Detention Center, a facility that has been cited for overcrowding, poor sanitation, inadequate medical care, and reports of harassment and solitary confinement. Families are being torn apart. Children are losing parents overnight. The trauma this causes in our community is enormous. But there's an even deeper issue here. In America, the government is not supposed to take away someone's freedom without a judge signing a warrant. That protection exists for everyone. It's a fundamental safeguard of liberty under the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. If the government can jail people without judicial oversight, then the basic rights that protect all of us are weakened. This isn't just an immigration issue, it's a constitutional one. If it's acceptable to detain some people without a judicial warrant, then the principle protecting everyone's freedom is at risk. We are all threatened by this. And I also object as a taxpayer. My local tax dollars should not be used to help fund a federal agency violate the constitutional rights of people in our community. Our sheriff should be focused on local public safety, not spending time and resources cooperating with the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Every time this happens, trust in local government is damaged. When people fear that any interaction with law enforcement could lead to ICE, our whole community becomes less safe. I shouldn't have to come here and beg our county government to respect due process and basic human dignity. But here we are, once again. That's why I urge you to support the 6 sanctuary policies proposed by our community and Cosecha Grand Rapids.
Thank you.
Thanks for the two.
Next is Gemma Lowe, and on deck is Sharon Smith.
Good morning.
¿Alguien me puede traducir?
If you'd like, Gemma, you can have up to another additional 30 seconds with the translation. Thank you.
30 segundos. Sí, mi nombre es Gema, se pronuncia Gema.
My name is Hema. You pronounce it Hema.
Y estoy aquí porque quiero que la comisión pase las políticas Ontario que se le han estado exigiendo por los últimos 14 meses.
I'm here today to speak to the commission about adopting the policies that we've been presenting over the last 14 months.
Y hay muy poquitos beneficios o muy poquitas sin beneficios para la comunidad inmigrante.
And these are very sort of small benefits, things that would benefit the community.
Y para aquellos que probablemente no saben y no estuvo en la presentación de las personas de la defensa, los abogados de defensa,
And this is something that wasn't addressed, that you heard from the Public Defender's Office.
que en el estado de Michigan los inmigrantes tienen derecho a una consulta por inmigración por este medio de defensa pública.
That immigrants have the right to public defense because of their status as immigrants.
Una consulta en inmigración.
And a consult, somebody who's trained in immigration law.
So, probablemente ustedes no lo saben ni lo presentaron tampoco.
So it's probably that these are things that you also don't know because it was not presented.
Entonces, hay muy poquitos beneficios para nuestra comunidad, pero nosotros aportamos todos los días impuestos como cualquier otra persona.
So even though we don't necessarily get these benefits, but we pay taxes every day and do all the other kinds of positive contributions on the community.
Estamos aportando a la economía, compramos, tenemos negocio y estamos positivamente en la comunidad.
We pay
You've got a little bit longer. Please go ahead and finish.
We pay taxes. We purchase in the community. We run businesses and other things that are beneficial to the community.
Y ahora nuestra comunidad está siendo devastada, está siendo separada, interrumpiendo el beneficio público de todos nosotros.
And right now, because of what ICE is doing, that this is being disrupted, that the separation of families and so forth is also affecting the local economy.
Y por eso, un poquito de esa interrupción lo han estado sintiendo y lo vamos a seguir haciendo para que ustedes entiendan que la política santuario para nuestra comunidad es el beneficio para todos.
So we just want you to understand that this kind of disruption that's happening is affecting the community, and this is why we're asking you to adopt this 6 sanctuary policies that we've been presenting.
Gracias.
Thank you, Hema.
Next is Sharon Smith, and on deck is Cindy Birch.
Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning. Thank you for having us here. I want to speak to a couple issues. Excuse me. I consider the ending ICE policies in Kent County to be a pro-life issue. Pro-life is for life. We know that people are dying in detention centers that are operated by ICE. We know that Kent County is a direct funnel to North Lake. We have, regardless of what the policies are in place, we have many witnesses that have said to us that they have heard Kent County sheriffs, GRPD, contacting ICE, asking if they have a warrant for the person that they are holding. They have taken them without a warrant. So when the county sheriff stops and asks them when they're detained, excuse me, Commissioner Green, this is why people have gone to your home, because you've been hard to contact here.
I was blowing my nose, but please continue.
This is a pro-life issue. This is about protecting people's lives. People are brought, Kent County, regardless of their policies, have multiple times held people for ICE. Their bond has been denied if they had a hearing. So I'm also speaking to the point about preventing the establishment of more detention centers in Kent County. We know that ICE has received more money. We know that they are expanding. We know that they have a fourth office that they've built or obtained. We want to make sure that no more detention centers are being established or being used in Kent County. We would really like to see the end of cooperation with ICE.
Thank you.
Next is Cindy Birch, and on deck is Allison Dickinson.
Good morning, Cindy.
Chair Green, Commissioners, my name is Cindy Birch. I live at 1578 Robinson Road, Grand Rapids. I saw the piece on Channel 8 News last night about the protest at Chair Green's house. And your response, Chair Green, to have to explain to your 5-year-old why people were yelling at your house and saying that you're a dad and a husband, and that's your job to be there for your family. But I'm afraid you've missed totally the point if you don't see that thousands of fathers are currently being brutally and forcefully removed from their homes. And mothers, if they are left behind, are having to explain to their 5-year-olds why masked, armed men broke into their home and kidnapped their fathers. There is no comparison between the peaceful protest at your home, at most an embarrassment and an inconvenience, and the brutality raining down on Hispanic residents in our city and around the country. You are here, Chair Green, while other law-abiding, hardworking immigrant fathers sit in detention facilities with no legal recourse. The laws are not protecting them. Please look at the reality of the situation and show compassion. I urge you to adopt the 6 sanctuary policies. That is the decent thing to do.
Thank you.
Next is Allison Dickinson, and on deck is Shannon Tanis.
Morning,
Good
Allison.
morning, Commissioners. My name is Allison Dickinson. I am here as a volunteer for the AARP, and I'm a resident of Grand Rapids in Kent County. I live in the Ward 3, the 3rd Ward. I'm here to talk about a problem that is growing fast in our community, and one that is putting people, particularly older adults, at risk. There are more than 30,000 cryptocurrency kiosks or crypto ATMs across the country. You can find them at gas stations, supermarkets, convenience stores, and I found 36 in our area when I Googled it. So cryptocurrency kiosk fraud is skyrocketing. According to the FBI, in just 1 year, Michiganders alone lost more than $125 million through crypto fraud. While this issue impacts people of all ages, 85 of those losses throughout the country are from people 60 plus years. And now I'm going to tell you a true story that exemplifies how the scam works. A grandfather was called by his grandson who was studying abroad. He told his granddad he had gone into debt and needed $15,000. Don't tell mum and dad, please. As he is abroad, the easiest way is to withdraw the money from the bank and go to one of the cryptocurrency kiosks and then deposit it into the kiosk. Grandad then gave the grandson the code so he could access at the other end. Except it wasn't his grandson. It was a scammer who had used AI to duplicate the grandson's voice. Once the money was in the ATM, it was gone. There are no laws and regulations to be able to get that money back. Other ways of scamming and getting people to persuade people. And I'm just here to ask Kent County to think about having their own ordinances about it. There is a bill going through, or has been initiated, 2 bills in the House, but it could take a lot of time. So I would like your consideration on that matter.
Thank you, Allison.
Next is Shannon Tanis, and on deck is Charlie Schnedeker.
Thank you. On the immigration issue, I can see both sides of the coin here. I'm very sorry that Chair has people outside his house, but it's part of being a public official. You take on that aspect of people protesting. I applaud Chair Green for understanding the public's right to protest. I also ask the public to be sensitive that he does have children and do not create a safety issue, because I'm sure law enforcement will not hesitate to address that. ICE has a website. There's like 36 people they've caught in Kent County that were involved in significant drug trafficking and sex acts against minors and things of that nature. When we have public officials over the years that have allowed a flood of illegal immigrants to populate across the United States to affect our economy, our benefits, our integrity of our elections, and not address that, this is the issue. You become silent because, oh my God, now what do we do? Now federal funding is being held over your head, and they're coming in and doing the job that law enforcement and you guys didn't do to address this issue. I spoke before this board when they were ushering in 2,000 some immigrants a year and a half, 2 years ago under funding, that there's a massive issue. So, but I also know families that have used and had what they call anchor babies, and their children have grown up here in the community, gone to public school. They've had one child where they don't want to have as an anchor baby, so then they are still as an illegal immigrant, and the Hispanic Center is taking money and not helping them with their issues. So there's both sides of the issues here.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, are there any more cards?
Charlie Schnedeker is my last card.
Oh, I'm sorry, Charlie. Good morning.
Good morning. My name's Charlie Schnedeker. Complete disclosure, I'm also referred to as a radical extremist immigration protester who scares little children. Well, when I'm not out scaring young children, I often read books. I just finished reading a book called Profiles in Courage. This book was written by a young senator from Massachusetts named John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Profiles in Courage is a volume of short biographies describing acts of bravery and integrity by 8 United States senators. JFK profiles senators who defied the opinions of their party and constituents to do what they felt was right and suffered criticism as a result. This book tells the story of men who in their time recognizes what needed to be done and did it. In the foreword to Profiles in Courage, John Fitzgerald Kennedy quotes the poet-philosopher Dante, who once said, "The hottest places in hell are reserved for those who in a great time of moral crisis maintain their neutrality." If there is a lesson from the lives of the men depicted in this book, it is that in this world of us, none of us can afford to be bystanders standing on the sidelines. Today, I'm giving you the chance to get off the sidelines and get in the game. An opportunity to exercise your courage to stand on the right side of history. For over a year, y'all been saying you're powerless and cannot change the way things are. Well, today that changes. I will be distributing to each commissioner on behalf of Movimiento Cosecha Grand Rapids a letter of intent to advocate for commitment to support adopting the 6 policies Cosecha has been demanding for over a year. You know the heartbreaking stories of families being torn apart. You know the Department of Homeland Security statistics that over 80% of individuals detained have no criminal history. You know amendment rights are being ignored by ICE agents during arrest and incarceration. Today, Kent County Commissioners, is the time to act. Read and sign this letter of intent and commit to advocating the sanctuary policies endorsed by COSACHA. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
I would like permission to hand these out.
Please hand them to the clerk. Thank you. I believe that's the end of the cards. Is anyone else here to make public comment this morning? Please give us your name and address. You have up to 2 minutes.
My name's Jeff. I live in the county. I just want to say that as a volunteer organizer with GR Rapid Response to ICE, we've seen ICE activity increase. We're getting increased number of calls from immigrants who are being threatened by ICE. Disproportionate number of fathers primarily who've been taken by ICE for committing no crime other than not having legal immigration status, which is not criminal. It's actually a civil offense in this country. Because of this, all of a sudden now mothers are forced to raise their children by themselves. They don't have, most of them don't have employment. They can't get employment because they're also undocumented. And just since the beginning of the year, we've raised over $50,000 to support the families, to make sure their rent is paid, the utilities are paid, that they have groceries. We're making deliveries on a weekly basis to families. Again, all with volunteers, because we believe that community takes care of community. We also have been talking to more faith-based communities who are very interested in becoming sanctuaries themselves, to do the thing that's right, that's sort of rooted in their own biblical traditions of welcoming the stranger. I say this because there's nothing really prohibiting you all from adopting these policies, even though we've heard over and over again that you can't because you don't mess with federal immigration policies. Well, the sanctuary policies that we're asking you to adopt are public safety policies. And there are hundreds of cities and counties who have already adopted very similar ones. There are 5 counties in the state of Michigan who have adopted the same policies. So please don't, insult us by saying that you can't do it, because this is not a matter of can or can't. This is a matter of political will. And so we're asking you to adopt it because it will keep immigrant families safer. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Susan Langland. I'm at least 50-year resident of Grand Rapids in Kent County. I'm not a member of COSACHA, but I have read their 6 requests, demands, and I'm here to ask the city and the county to draw a clear line between the duties of the Grand Rapids Police Department, who I have seen serve this community as I've lived in some of the more difficult places in Grand Rapids to live, and between Grand Rapids Police Department, Kent County Sheriff's Department, and the Department of DHS and ICE. I don't pay my taxes to have them used by Grand Rapids Police Department to aid in what I consider illegal and inhumane practices that our current U.S. administration is involving us in. And I'm a grandmother, I'm retired, I would like to just stay at home. I just found out this morning that you were meeting and that I could speak, and I have a tear in something, the meniscus in my knee, and I'm limping up here to say, please listen to those 6 requests and draw a line. And I also, if if this isn't inappropriate, I ask for all of you to do what you can, and I know some of you are, to bring about justice for the family of Daquan. And that's.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you. We wish you the best with your recovery. Anyone else? Public comment this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Teresa Lewis. I've been a resident of Kent County for 30-plus years. I, too, am a radical protester. I'm radical about immigration. You said in your statement that your children were frightened, and yet your dogs were trying to get out at us. They were very happy. Your kids waved, one of that little one waved, and when you were handed the form, you said to Jeff, "Thank you, I appreciate this, I'll look into it." We have it on video. You said, "Thank you, I appreciate it," like a nice human being that gave us some hope that maybe you would look at these sanctuary policies with an open mind and heart, because there are children being a lot more scared than your children are by having a group of old people yelling and, immigration, stop ICE now. We weren't frightening, we weren't threatening. He chose to be in this position. You ran for this office. I watched you. I read your stuff. And the things that you are allowing to happen in our city, because you say that you said there is nothing left to protest. The answer is no. Well, I'm here to tell you there's a lot left to protest, young man.
Thank you. Anyone else? Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Jasmine. I've been a resident of Kent County my entire life. For the past year, we have been helpless to watch this current administration utilize immigration agencies to invade cities all over the country, turning communities inside out, brutalizing families and children, and leaving them with no income to support themselves. Over the course of that time, we have experienced an increased ICE presence here in Kent County and watched the federal government try to disappear our neighbors, as you have all done nothing. No one in this world can be expected to do nothing when faced with the persecution of your peaceful and loving neighbors. We certainly do not expect this of you. We expect more. We know that the Kent County Sheriff's Department holds immigrants for ICE, and the Kent County Board of Commissioners has the authority over the Kent County Sheriff's Department, as well as a responsibility to its constituents. As your constituents and in solidarity with our friends, neighbors, and colleagues, we demand that the Kent County Board of Commissioners adopt the previously stated 6 sanctuary policies presented to them by Movimiento Cosecha and the Grand Rapids response to ICE. Until the board proposes to adopt these sanctuary policies and end its complicity and the racially motivated systemic violence sweeping the nation, we will not be leaving.
We want justice, you say how? We want justice, you say how? And ICE holds now! And ICE holds now! We want justice, you say how? We want justice, you say how? And ICE holds now! And ICE holds now!
You're preventing the meeting from continuing.
No fear!
You're preventing the meeting from continuing.
No fear! Immigrants are welcome here!
If you continue to disrupt the meeting, we will have to turn off the microphone and we will ask the sheriff deputy to escort you from the chambers.
Welcome here! And ICE holds today! And ICE holds today!
If you do not step down from the podium, you will be escorted out of the room by sheriff deputies.
And ICE holds today! And ICE
Mr. Chair.
holds today! Immigrants are here
Mr.
to
Chair.
stay! Immigrants are here to stay!
I move we go into closed session in accordance with the Open Meetings Act to consult with the county's attorney regarding trial settlement strategy concerning the tax foreclosure litigation. The county's attorney has advised the board that an open meeting on this issue would be detrimental with financial effect on litigation settlement position of the county.
I move to recess the meeting. The meeting stands in recess at the call of the chair.
And ICE holds now! And ICE holds now! Say
closed session and the administrator's report, and the live stream is working, so thank you very much. We'll move to agenda item number 13, which is report from the chair. A few quick things to share with you this morning. We are this morning receiving and filing the final report of the Mobility Task Force. That report has recommended that work move to the Grand Valley Metro Council, and we look forward to seeing what they do as they take up that mantle. 13B, the Zoo Museum Millage Subcommittee Extension. I believe there's a memo in your packet. Board Liaison Porritt can confirm that? Okay. Memo in the packet, simply we're extending the term of that group. We had, by our own rule, had that set to expire end of April. It will now expire end of May. So that's in your packet. That is also extended. I had a very brief report on the administrator evaluation. We did conduct in, many of you know we did the surveys. We had 21 of you participate in that. Thank you. We had full participation. Many staff did as well. Excellent grades, marks for Al's performance. He's doing a very good job leading our county and our 2,000 employees. We're grateful for that. We also had a conversation in executive committee about that and reviewed that with Al. Again, very good conversation. And then a couple members of the leadership group have followed up and had an additional conversation on just kind of some, based on the feedback, some areas that we can continue to work toward getting better. And that was very well received. And so I just kind of want to put a bow on that. For the public to see. We appreciate the work that Al is doing, and thank you, Al, for your, that's the word I'm looking for, cooperation sounds so strong, but you were very open to the process, and we appreciate that. So thank you. Then that kind of concludes the administrator evaluation for this year. So we'll move to agenda item number 14, which is commissioner comments. We do have up to 2 minutes for commissioner comments. Any commissioners that wish to make comment? Yes, Commissioner DeBoer.
Thank you, Chair. Regarding some of the issues with the group that was here, I just wanted to share a little bit of my take. I've had the privilege of knowing some wonderful people who have come to the United States without legal status, and it's only because of our deeply flawed immigration system that they've ended in that position. This board has decided that Kent County should not be a sanctuary county or support these unlawful policies. That decision is final, but it doesn't mean we lack compassion for the people in our community. Far from it. I strongly support our law enforcement, but I've also personally helped a friend who was formerly undocumented become a legal resident. I drove her to her immigration and Secretary of State appointments, and I've written her a letter in support of her citizenship. I understand how frustrating that process can be. During our previous administration, our country's administration, changes in immigration rules led to a big increase of people crossing across the border. And whether you agree with it or not, it put pressure on some communities, more demand for services, and extra work for local police departments. In a few cases, serious criminals came across the border and affected lives and our well-being. These tragedies need to end. We can still maintain a firm policy stance and treat everyone with respect and compassion. And that respect should also extend to our elected officials who have been voted into positions to make key policy decisions. There's a time and a place to confront and question, and a homestead is not that place. Our commission chair had a protest at his home this past weekend, and yes, our First Amendment protects peaceful assembly. But oftentimes, as we just saw firsthand in our public comment, the louder the people shout, the less it is able to be heard. And from our country's deep traditions of property rights, the home is a sanctuary where people and their families must be free from unwanted confrontation, distress, or harassment. This is not a partisan issue or even a First Amendment issue. It's an issue of decency and maintaining and protecting appropriate public discourse. So I call on my colleagues, regardless of their party affiliation, to support professional public discourse and not give assistance or encouragement to tactics that disturb a person's property or their family place. And we should agree on this.
Thank you. Others for commissioner comments this morning? Yes, Commissioner LeGrand.
Thank you, Chair. Commissioner DeBoer has just inspired me by what she said, something that's been on my mind, which is that while we respond to current events, I think it behooves us all to remember, she pointed out that our immigration policies nationally are very problematic. They are very outdated, extremely outdated, and they do need to be renewed and looked at by both parties. And we all know people going up the food chain in state government and national government. And I want us all to take on, to think about taking on advocacy for renewed immigration policy for our country, something that makes sense for everyone. And it's important going forward, and I don't want us to lose that goal. And it will have to be bipartisan for it to really last, and I'd just like us all to think about working towards that end. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else? All right, I don't see any. I do have just a couple of brief comments to make. I just wanted to address some of the things that were said this morning and just share with this group. I don't mean to be offensive when I say that people are radical, but I think objectively what we saw earlier is radical. I objectively think that showing up to somebody's home is radical. The fact that my son, who's not even 2, waved doesn't mean he wasn't scared. It means he's 2. And the fact that my dogs didn't bark and the fact that I came out and was respectful, I'm struggling to understand why that's a problem, that I was respectful when people showed up at my home and scared the crap out of my kids and my wife. There's not, if we don't draw the line somewhere, and this is not just about these folks that came to my home. In the last year, we had a state rep from Kent County who had people at her home. We've had people from both sides of the aisle that are U of M regents that had violence at their homes. We've had people assassinated at their homes in Minnesota, and public elected officials. And if we do not draw the line somewhere, and to me that is the line, that we can have as much conversation as we want in the boardroom, at the coffee shop, at a scheduled meeting, in an office, we need to respect the privacy of people when they're at their own home. And I said it again, I keep coming back to it. You have the right, but that doesn't make it right to do it. So I'm going to try to abide by my own time constraints here, but yeah, that's what I have to say. So thank you. With that, item number 15 is adjournment. I'll call on Vice Chair Teal.
Thank you, Chair Green. I move to adjourn, subject to the call of the chair, to Thursday, March 26, 2026 at 8:30 a.m. for an official meeting.
Thank you. With that, we are adjourned.